Hey everybody, my name is Jenny and welcome to Veritable Volatility. Today I just wanted to do a quick comparison between the modern version of Velvet by Commodity and the old version. For those of you who know a little bit about Commodity, you might know that the brand went out of business in 2018 and came back in 2020 after changing ownership and becoming more cruelty-free, eco-friendly, and also changing their brand premise. So instead of like the EDPs and EDTs and all that bullshit, they now do the personal, expressive, and bold scent spaces. And if you don't know what that is, just do a quick Google search. I don't really feel like explaining it, but basically it's just like varying levels of projection and sillage and stuff like that. I apologize for the sound situation right now. My parents are playing Overcooked. They're obsessed with that game. They're addicted like it's a drug. The playlist I'm playing right now is actually my Arsenic Mayhem. I have a playlist called Arsenic Mayhem with songs that I relate to or she relates to. I guess I'll introduce Arsenic Mayhem in this video since I might have a lot of new viewers. Arsenic Mayhem is my little persona. I basically release art and music through her. She's the red girl. She's got a lot of symbolic significance to her. I like to, express myself through her. She's basically like the proverbial band-aid on the proverbial head trauma that is personality disorders and all that. So she's very dear to me. She's gotten me through many stressful times in my life. To find a perfume that relates, to her symbols is something very special to me. And I think to have such a symbolic relationship with one's personal subjective truth with something as concrete as a perfume or a smell is something really special. Like, not everybody could love the scent as deeply as I could, I think. And I'm not even trying to gatekeep. I'm just like stating it how it is. Like, people can like this scent, of course, but there may be something discordant. Something with the vibe or like its personality. Velvet's personality just may not flesh very well with yours. And I think everybody should work to sort of flesh out their own subjective truth and like their own symbolism and really find something of their own. I think Velvet, even though it's not something I created, it's very adjacent to what I create and what I've fleshed out to be symbols of myself or symbols of arsenic or whatever. We're the same person, so kind of saying the same thing there, but I've found something that truly connects to me on a deep level. That's why I love this perfume so much. It's pretty hard to explain. It's just like you feel it in your heart. You know for a fact that like this is yours and this is mine. Like, it's not mine, but in my heart it's my favorite, And not a lot of people could relate to Velvet in the same way I do. There's this perfume YouTuber I watch. Her name is Melissa Nacional. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but she makes a really good point. Hold on, my music turned off. It takes sort of some work and also some deep feelings to really pull off a fragrance, so to speak, as it were. Like, a fragrance can smell good on you, or it can, you can spray it on you and people will compliment you, but it takes a lot, to really personally relate to a scent and to really like intertwine it with who you are and just look at it like it's part of you, Fragrances are pieces of art, and you would relate to it in the same way one could relate to, a song. A person could identify with a song beyond, the logic of the beat sounds catchy or like, I like the artist. Like a true relationship with a song is much deeper than that, and that's how I feel about this perfume. That was a long-winded explanation. Hopefully it made sense, but I wanted to make that pretty clear, and I think that Melissa Girl on YouTube puts it in a really neat way. The fragrance that she relates to in the same way that I relate to Velvet is called Salt and Pepper. I forget what the house is, but she like not tries to gatekeep it, but like says none of y'all bitches could relate to it in the same way I do, and that's how I feel about that one. I don't know. So yeah, if y'all want to try to relate to this fragrance in the same way I do, you got some competition and you got a lot of work to do first. She's kind and smooth. She's very sweet, but she's dark and she's disturbing. She's got this scariness to her, this level of disturbance, this disturbed state of mind, and she's shamefully sensitive. And when I personify Velvet like that, she's just like me. Even if people on the internet describe her in a way that's like, over-sexualized, like I've stated before, or doesn't relate with who I am, I can still, perceive this perfume however the hell I want to, even if that means I have to take off 0.1 in my lore/marketing category of realgar stars. And if you don't know what that is, watch my damn introduction video, or watch my realgar stars video on velvet. It's up on my channel. It's my most viewed video thus far. They could never change what she means to me. We all interpret things very differently. We all have our own subjective truths. That's why I always say my motto, every fragrance's artistic significance is in the eye of the beholder, as artistic pieces. Because I think the human ability to perceive things and aestheticize or like make things artsy in their own subjective ways is truly a gift, and it's what I live for, to be honest. Yeah, there's nothing I see in her that's unlike me. At least the new one. We're about to find out what the old one smells like. So yeah, back to what I was saying earlier, Commodity has substituted some of its old ingredients to be more synthetic, which makes them, I'm pretty sure, I'd assume, cheaper to make. Synthetic ingredients tend to be, you know, more cost effective because it takes a lot of time and effort to extract essential oils from, say, like plants and whatnot, whatever they use. And on top of that, that's, you know, why they've become eco-friendly. Doing synthetic ingredients instead of things like, especially if you have like ambergris or civet in your perfume, that's highly unethical, and it's also bad for the environment. And if you're chopping down lots of trees and wasting stuff in like all these industries, like kind of destroys the environment. So I think it's a lot better to use synthetic ingredients, even though people say it's like not as authentic or like natural. It's not something they like. Just shut up. Like, synthetic is better, and they tend to last longer anyways. It's synthetic ingredients, whatever. And so yeah, I really want to describe to you sort of the differences I get between these two scents and sort of what the synthetic versus natural makeup of the old versus new smells like, to me at least, to my nose. And it's gonna be in real time. We're gonna do it right here. I have smelled both of them and I already know what I'm gonna say, but you know, you'll get my sort of reaction. All right, so under Commodity's old owner, they had actually a lot of different scents that don't exist anymore. So they had ones like tea, which is not sold anymore. Some of them are sold still in what they call their archives collection. Some examples of those would be bergamot, rain, and wool. But some of them like tea and probably some other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head. Tea is one. Just aren't sold anymore. But some of them did carry over. One example would be velvet, as you see right here. And then also some of the scents that they have today did not exist back then. So I'm pretty sure milk didn't exist back then, or paper, or even book. A lot of the new ones today didn't exist back then. Velvet, though, did. Gold did as well. That's another example of one that existed beforehand. All right, Jesus, Jenny, just spray the perfumes, goddammit. All right, so as you can see, obviously, you know, the old bottles are a lot fatter, whereas the new ones are taller. They're both 100 mils. Also, the tops are made of sort of a different material. This one's a little bit more shiny. This one has, I don't know, it's got this sort of like matte finish to it that fingerprints really easily. Don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like velvety, ironically, the old one. And do a quick spin around of the old bottle. It says Velvet Commodity, 100 ml eau de parfum. The new one doesn't say eau de parfum anymore because of what I said already. It says Commodity on the back, whereas the new one looks something like this. Scent Space Expressive. I've got the expressive version of Velvet. Side note, the bold or plus version of Velvet sucks. If y'all bitches want to claim that one, you can, but it reminds me of changing diapers. If you want me to explain that further, just watch my other Velvet video that I have. Yeah, but it says Scent Space Expressive for me and the many around me. And, you know, Commodity Velvet right there, and that's basically it. Let's go ahead and spray the new one on this arm right here. Do you guys like my new acrylics? I did them myself just today. I bet you could tell. I need to put on my rings because it's gonna look so good. I need to do that right now. All right, that's much better. Let's do a little tour of my rings real quick. Quick intermission. Here's the nails. They're sparkly, as you can see. Got that one little rose on it. Sort of medieval themed. This has, you know, leaves. Got this like little pattern of swirlies and stuff. Heart, a little rose that wraps around. This little swirly, and this one says piece comes from within. It's not from the same set as these. No, I'm keeping that one. I'm gonna read to you the notes on the official website real quick. And I discovered something interesting in opening the old Velvet bottle. You'll see what I mean in just a second. And there's a reason why I'm not reading off of Fragrantica right now. Purposefully the official Commodity website, you'll see why. So what you get first is the coconut water, which is very accurate. I do get a lot of coconut water on the first initial spray. That's what I get. And then you also get roasted almonds and rose petals, sort of as it dries down in the middle. Yes, that's quite accurate. There's sort of this roasty quality that the almonds get up. that the almonds give off. It's not terribly nutty. Not the word I would use to describe it. It's more just smoky and roasty smelling. Like, I wouldn't smell that and be like, oh, almonds. I would be like, yeah, it smells roasty. Like, it smells like something's getting singed. You can't really tell what it is. And then when this dries down, it's vanilla, amber, and smoky musk. That is very accurate. It does dry down to this like really sweet vanilla type smell. And I wear this all the time. It's, yeah. Look at the dent in this bad boy. And I've had, you see? Like, it's right there. I've only had this for like a couple months. It's just so good. I heard someone online describe it as dark, smoky, and delicious. It is 100% that. Spot on. It's just so good, man. She makes me feel something. This is my soul sister right here. She's got a lot of fear and she's scared. She's dark. Yeah, she's dark and sensitive. I also described this in my last video as this like sensitive bloke, romantic gentleman kind of guy who gives flowers and plays piano and stuff. That's also, this could be unisex, slightly leaning feminine. If you want to hear more about, you know, what I get from this and symbolism and stuff, watch my other velvet video, but that's all I'm going to say for now. Let's spray the old one. I got this off Mercari for a pretty good price. I think it was like, they're selling it for $90, packaging and box and all. On eBay, it gets sold for quite a pretty penny, and I thought someone stole the package, so I got really pissed off and ordered another one from eBay. Just really impulsively, that's the BPD in me. But it came literally that night. It came that night. I had complained to UPS and it came like an hour later. I was like, oh, and then I canceled the eBay one. Luckily, I got refunded. Immediately, much more woody. And you can tell that there's essential oils in this. That's what I was saying about the natural notes in the old one versus the new one, which is synthetic. Yeah, this one you can't really make it out. It smells more smoky, but this one smells like a fresh type of wood. Let me read you the notes real quick. Smoky wood, if you could even call it wood, because there's no wood listed on the website. A fresh wood in the old one. This one's got on the top roasted almonds, clove buds, and coconut water. In the middle, it's heliotropine, which is like, I don't even know what that is. I kind of forget. Vanilla flower and velvet rose petals. In the base, it's blonde woods, white birch, and black amber. You get the white birch. And it's way more nutty as well. You could tell that they got some sort of almond essence in here. It smells very nutty in the opening. Other than that, you smell everything else. It is significantly less smoky than this one. Smoky is something you are forced to create synthetically. And I mean, there's no smoke listed here anyways, so it's not like they forgot about it or anything. But yeah, smoke is something you have to create synthetically. So it makes sense to me. And fun fact, even while I was doing my other review for Velvet, I was reading off the notes on the website and the notes on Fragrantica, and I'm like, why is Fragrantica so inconsistent? It says, let me read it off for you right now. Top, cloves, almond, coconut nectar. Middle, rose, vanilla, heliotrope. Base, white woods, black amber, birch. I'm like, half of that doesn't even match with the website. You want to know why? It's because Fragrantica got the notes from the old one, but they just never bothered changing it, I guess, when the old one got discontinued. But as you'll see, let me just show you what I'm looking at. The picture did get updated, just not the notes, which, you know, upon reading this, when I opened my package, I'm like, oh, I see what happened. And I'm like, oh, now I can smell the white woods. Now I can smell the damn black amber and all that shit. You do still smell cloves in this one. This one's totally cloves. I think they should have listed that on the website when they rebranded still, because you can definitely still smell it. Cloves, if you don't know what they smell like, is a spice. It's a relatively sweet one. It's kind of adjacent to cinnamon, but it's a little bit different. I prefer the smell of cloves. Cloves is a really nice scent, in my opinion. I prefer greatly the new Velvet, and they do smell a lot different. Like, yeah, let me refresh my nose real quick because, hold on. All right, y'all, I got Juicy Couture, which is a very soapy floral type smell. White floral, just to, you know, introduce a new scent family to my nose, just so I'm not echo chambered by the velvet. Let's smell these two now. Yeah, now that I've smelled the Juicy Couture, these smell relatively the same. But there are, you know, maybe it's just because I spray the damn velvet so much, like I can pick up on those little differences. But I feel like the average person wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference. But I do. This, I would say, is perfectly, the old one, perfectly unisex, if not a little bit leaning masculine. This one is unisex but slightly feminine. It's because the woodiness and something about the woodiness and I guess the heliotrope as well. Never mind, it's not the heliotrope. Heliotrope's, I guess, supposed to smell like vanilla or almond. The realistic earthiness to the old one gives it that masculine factor. Earthiness is something I always talk about as one of my masculine factors in the gender rating of realgar stars. This one being synthetic and therefore less realistically earthy, that masculine edge is sort of taken away. So yeah, y'all, you heard it from me. There is quite a noticeable difference from the ones they've carried over into their new formulations. At least with Velvet. I haven't smelled the old gold. I have the new gold minus. Also, I will mention, in case you didn't know this about Commodity, there are differences between the scent spaces. Like Velvet Plus, Velvet Regular, and Velvet Minus have different notes in them, so they will automatically smell a little bit different. Like I said, Velvet Plus, something about that smells like dirty diapers to me, compared to other, you know, eco-friendly, cruelty-free brands that are really sensitive to their audience and ethicality and whatnot. They're relatively well priced. Something, you know, brands like, you know, L'Artisan Perfume or like État Libre d'Orange even, or let me think of another one. Parfums de Marly, Tom Ford. Tom Ford, I think, is not niche, but technically designer. You know, Diptyque, Guerlain, or Guerlain, however the F you say it. Let me think of another one. Even a Replica, which is more of a like, I don't even know there's a clear-cut difference between designer and niche. I guess if it's sold at Sephora or not. Which freaking Commodity is sold at Sephora, but they still call it a niche perfume brand and not a designer perfume brand. Anyway, though, like, yeah, the Replica is 100 mils, 160. These are 100 mils, 150. Which is, like, relatively okay. And I've done the math. I've done, you know, a price per mil. That one's pretty good. Like, even something like Mancera or Montal, that's more per milliliter off their official website. I know you can get, you know, something off, you know, a discount website for way cheaper for a Montal or Mancera. But, point I'm trying to make, Commodity very reasonably priced. And an ethical brand, just a really chill-ass brand. They make a whole point of, you know, they've done away with the industry jargon now. They make it easier for people to understand. Because, like, the average person doesn't really know what EDP or EDT means. And now that with their, you know, minus, regular, plus thing, a lot easier to comprehend or, you know, make an inference about. You don't have to, like, make a Google search just to figure out how long your damn perfume's gonna last. Like, it tells you straight up. So I think that's really freaking cool. I try to make my outfits match with, you know, my videos. I should have worn this for gold because gold is really angelic, pure scent. This is white. I should have worn that for that. At least I'm wearing velvet pants. Get it? Because, like, velvet. All in all, yeah, I've never really heard anybody point out the differences between the old and the new velvet, so I thought I would get up on here and do it, you know? In the future, I plan on making more first impressions videos where I'll, you know, get a sample set from a brand and smell it real time. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing one for Montal and Mancera, and also État Libre d'Orange, Orange Extraordinaire collection. And they have this feature on their website where you get to pick 4 and make your own custom sample set, which I love when perfume brands do that. Like, let me choose my damn samples. Yeah, I want to smell I Am Trash, because duh, look at me. Of course I would like that scent. Frustration, that's in the Orange Extraordinary one. Frustration, that's really piquing my interest. Experimentum Crucis. Soul of my soul, Spice must flow. Those are in that collection. 500 years, I want. La fin du monde. Guys, evacuate the dance floor. Oh, that's the song I was playing right now. What else? Oh, and Ode of Protection. That's got a blood accord in it. I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna get those. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna review that for y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I like yapping. Hopefully you guys don't mind. If you did mind, you would have clicked off. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, keep being you. Stay proud of yourself as always.